Hi, I'm Dr. Jackson Crawford. I'm a specialist in the Old Norse language, currently teaching at the University of California, Berkeley, previously at UCLA, and as of August 2017, very happy to be returning home to the Rocky Mountains to teach at the University of Colorado Boulder. I'm back today with another one of my YouTube videos about a topic in Norse language and myth, and today I'm continuing to answer questions posed by my Patreon supporters. Today, supporter Dan Connolly asks about whether the Norns of Norse mythology are influenced by the idea of the Moirai, or fates, of Greek mythology. The Moirai are spinners. They weave the fates of men and gods and are associated with that act of weaving and spinning. It's interesting to note that the Norns are not. Probably the closest thing to an image of the Norns weaving or spinning in the Poetic Edda, which is the main source of the myths of the Norse gods, which of course I have translated myself in the last couple of years, is in the poem Helgakvida Hundingsbana 1, one of the heroic poems, when the Norns appear at the birth of the hero Helgi, and they take golden bands that they stretch to the lengths and extent of the kingdom that Helgi will rule one day. Otherwise, it seems like the action that the Norns take is actually carving. And the poem Voluspa in the Poetic Edda, which is one of the really classic sources of our idea of Norse myth today, the Norns are said to carve men's fates, apparently on sticks of wood. So that is quite a different physical action in determining fate than the Moirai of Greek myth. One possible fact about the Norns that could be influenced by the Greek Moirai is the number 3, that there are 3 Norns. It is possible that this is not a very old idea. The clearest statement that there are 3 Norns comes from the poem Voluspa, and then is copied by Snorri in his Prose Edda. Snorri's Prose Edda doesn't really add very much to what we know about the Norns. Elsewhere it seems like there's either one, there's Urður, who is mentioned sometimes on her own. For instance, the well of the fates, Urðarbrunnar, is just known as the well of Urð, rather than as the well of the Norns, like Nornabrunnar. And then if any one Norn's name is mentioned, it's always Urð. And it's interesting to note that it is her name that becomes the name for the concept of fate or luck in Old English, which is weird, which becomes the word weird in modern English today. But if it isn't just one of them it's mentioned, it's usually way more than 3 that's mentioned. So for instance, in the poem Fofnisball, after Sigurd has killed the dragon Fofnir, he asks Fofnir about the Norns for whatever reason. And Fofnir says that there are many of them. Some of them are born among the gods, some among the elves, and some among the dwarves, implying there's multiple different families of Norns. And then we also see this concept of an individual, like possibly guardian Norn, on different individuals elsewhere, including in the Poetic Edda, in a poem like Atlakvida, where Gudrun tells her brothers that she wishes they had made the Norns of the Huns weep, implying there's sort of these guardian Norns that watch the Huns, who must be distinct from the Norns who watch over Gunnar and his family. So it doesn't actually seem that the Norns are that similar to the Moirai of Greek myth, although the number 3 that is given to them in Voluspa and then later by Snorri could possibly be influenced by the 3 Moirai of Greek myth. From the wilderness of the American West, I'm wishing you all the best.